Okay, welcome everyone to the Legislative Rules and Government Operations Committee. I'm sitting in for Supervisor Stroud. The chair will entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting. Mr. Driscoll, Mr. Mayday, have a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you, everyone. Without objection, I would like to, as the county clerk is here, why don't we start with the county clerk? Is that all right? All right, without objection, what do we have in front of us today?
All right, I have the request to fund the senior legal recording clerk, which was created in the 2025 budget. The position was reinstated but not funded in the budget process. The senior legal recording clerk position will be funded in place of the legal recording clerk. Currently, there's no succession plan to principal legal recording clerk. If you want to retire in the future. The minimum qualifications currently for principal legal recording clerk, a candidate must be current employee of the office and have held permanent competitive status for 2 years as a senior legal recording clerk. And currently we don't have a senior legal recording clerk. So this position is necessary to create a succession plan.
And you're planning to transfer the dollars from unfilled positions in the
Yes.
budget?
Yes, for this year.
So the funding is coming from unfilled positions.
Yes.
Well, let's bring this forward for consideration. Frank, you want to bring it forward? Thank you. Mr. Mayday on the second.
Yes.
All in favor, bring it forward. Signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Okay, let's discuss this. As I understand that basically it's part of your organizational structure in the budget, but it's unfunded.
Yes.
And you're looking to transfer it. You'll be going to the appropriate committee to transfer dollars, I assume. Does this have to go to finance for transfer?
I'm assuming the funds are already in the budget. code.
Okay, it's in the budget.
Already
Okay.
done.
Any discussion, any questions for the county clerk on this? Frank?
Is the legal recording part going to stay in your chart?
Yes, we will still have 3. So this will just replace the 4th, will become the senior legal recording clerk.
Any other questions? Go ahead a minute.
Are you seeking to unfund it, but leave it in your salary schedule unfunded, or are you deleting the position?
Leave it in there, but unfunded.
So the organizational question will be dealt with during budget time. Is that the idea?
Yes.
Frank, are we good with that approach?
Yeah.
Okay. Any further questions for the county clerk? All right, then. All those in favor of creating the position signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And now, without objection, I think we should move into the Board of Elections. I see we have our commissioners with us, all rested from primary night. I see. Good, good.
Good there.
Well, what do we have in front of us?
Well, first I'd like to take a moment, if I may. We're lucky enough to have an intern, and this is Angela Livingston. It's been a pleasure having her. I think she's learning quite a bit being with us. She's done everything from delivering machines to doing absentee envelopes. So she's learning every piece of it, and it's been a pleasure. So to our agenda, our first, we would like to enter into a 3-year contract with NTS Data Services for voter registration. We are presently with ES&S. We are not fully satisfied with their processes, simplify of walking lists and absentee lists. Their customer service is okay. We feel it should be a little bit more. So we would like to go back to NTS for our voter reg. The monies are about the same. We will have 8,000 this year to use, which would have been going to ES&S for their annual fee to use for our migration. And then the fees are broken out there for up to year 3. We would like to add a little bit to that. There is an additional fee for any on-site support or any additional over 6 hours a month of online support. So we would like to add that to the resolution as well. That is not included in that present form that's in front of you.
All right, let's bring this forward for consideration. Mr. Mayday, Mr. Driscoll in a second.
Yep.
Is that all right? All in favor of bringing this forward signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Any questions?
If I could, Mr. Chairman, just clarify one point that was raised, that the resolution would include authority to incur additional expenses related to the on-call emergency services or any additional on-call, on-site visits that are required over and above what's in the contract for the migration and startup of the contract. So if there's some emergency that arises, they pay, there's a fixed 6 hours a month of support service. But there could be a possibility, which no one ever hopes for, that it would exceed the 6 hours resolution and just needs to provide that authority to pay those additional sums if they get incurred.
Does everyone understand that?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, and this would be a 3-year license agreement? That's what we're looking at. Mr. Driscoll.
Quick, thank you, Chairman. You guys, query other county, BOEs to ascertain their satisfaction or dissatisfaction with different vendors and that type of stuff.
Yes, there's actually 2 other counties that are with ES&S and they are also going back to NTS. They have it's 8 new APEX, so it's a new program. Saratoga uses it, Washington County, and we're in close contact and we feel comfortable with that, having that support as neighboring counties as well.
Good, yeah,
With
yeah.
issues and calling for help and assistance
sure.
on the way.
Well, my only comment is hopefully it's gonna
Yeah.
make your life a little easier.
That's what we're hopeful.
A lot of moving parts here in a lot of different locations. I don't need to say that we got into a point where the people expect almost like at 9 o'clock, how come I can't see the results, right? And even though you get them up usually by, shortly thereafter, it's that immediacy, right? Is there anyway. And I don't know how you do it, to be honest with you. And that includes the training of all your election workers, and it's a big job.
Yes, a lot of moving parts.
Moving parts. All right, any further questions? Are we ready for the question then? All those in favor of authorizing this 3-year license agreement with NTS signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None carried. No, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Item 2, to authorize the chairman of the board to execute a grant agreement, New York State Board of Elections, 2025 grant, not to exceed $7,517.99. Chair, I'll entertain a motion bring this let me just say, why don't we take 2 and 3 together?
Yes,
2 and 3 together, and to amend the 25 county budget in the amount of $7,517.99. Chair, I'll entertain a motion bring this forward for consideration. Mr. Driscoll on the motion, Mike on the second. Thank you, Mike. Discussion. There being none, are we ready for the question? All those in favor of entering into this grant agreement for $7,517.99 with the Board of Elections, State Board of Elections, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. And that motion also included the to amend the 25 budget. All right, item 4, to authorize the chairman of the board to execute grant agreement with New York State Board of Elections for a 25 vote by mail grant funding in an amount not to exceed $18,970.92. And that's followed by a request to amend the 25 budget in a like amount. Let's bring this forward for consideration. It's May Day. Mr. Thomas on the second. All those in favor of bringing it forward signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, what do we have here?
Hopefully it's easy.
Okay.
Getting some more grant funds from the state to help us out with election costs for this year, the smaller one, and then ballot by mail postage. That helps tremendously for that second fund.
Any questions? Frank?
Just absentee ballot.
Correct. Yes, and anything with processing absentees, we could even, buy equipment if needed. Envelopes, stamps, that type of thing. Ballot printing.
Not putting boxes on the corner.
No,
No, sir.
not yet.
No, sir.
It was amazing to me how fast you had the early voting posted. The polls closed at 9. How fast did you have those posted?
By election law, we are allowed to take the early voting and absentee results starting around 8 PM and get those tabulated within our systems. Usually, with our systems, we're very happy with them. We're usually done with that around 8:30, and it's a matter of just clicking the button at 9 o'clock for upload.
Amazing. That's amazing. I know, because it was around 9 o'clock, or a little after when I pulled it up, and it was, there it was. Incredible.
I appreciate it. We work hard on those ones.
All right, then. All those in favor of the grant agreement and authorizing the chairman signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion also includes, of course, the amending the county budget. All opposed, motion is carried. Thank you. Anything else?
We appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you
All
all.
right, thank you for being here. Next item, is a resolution, dealing with, opioids. Bob, and we have Jessica Perkins here. If you could stand, go to the microphone and maybe give us an idea of, what we have in front of us.
All right, good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Bob.
So first, I would like to introduce Jessica Perkins, who's the clinical director for Baywood Center. Baywood Center provides some transition release services under contract with us for the Warren County Jail. And they're also one of our major outpatient providers in the community, located over off of Bay Road. So you want to just give a little overview maybe of Baywood services?
Sure. So as Rob said, we are in the jails. We have the outpatient clinic that offers outpatient services. We can do that 5 days a week. We have what's called regular outpatient and intensive outpatient. The intensive outpatient is they can attend 5 days a week, up to 3 hours. We provide group and individual counseling, as well as MATs, which would be the Suboxone, Sublocade, and Vivitrol. As well as what's on the report today in terms of the naloxone. We offer that to every patient to include at discharge. We have a community outreach team that consists of a director, 3 clinicians, and a certified peer recovery advocate that go out into the community to address the barriers of anyone that cannot seek treatment. We go directly to them. We also have harm reduction kits, hygiene kits that we provide to the community. Oftentimes they'll go out to some of the homeless encampments to provide some of those, to include the naloxone kits.
Should have mentioned the outreach team was also one of our ARPA funded projects to get that started, so. So the reason I was asked to come today, I think, was because of this proposed resolution that was similar to one that I guess was passed by Orleans County. This is to expand the offerings in the standing order. And this is related to opioid overdose reversal medication, okay? So under the standing order currently, there's one formulation of naloxone, which is the reversal medication. It's dosed at 4 milligrams. the proposal is is to expand the offerings of the standing order. And the standing order, by the way, means anybody could walk into a pharmacy and get this without having to have a script. Okay, so the idea was to make it widely available. People could walk into a pharmacy, get it, and have it available to, if anyone were experiencing an overdose. But the proposal to expand is to also add an 8 milligram formulation of naloxone. And to also add another medication. However, in doing a little bit of research on this, I found that there was a letter to the providers. And that's included in the packet here from New York State Office of Alcohol, of Addiction Services and Supports. And basically what they're saying in the letter is that there's really not any evidence that these other formulations are any more effective in reversing overdoses and may have some complicating factors. At the higher dose, for instance, of the 8 milligram naloxone, it causes the person to have more severe withdrawal symptoms. And if someone's having more severe withdrawal symptoms, that also means they're at risk for another overdose. So they may be, because of the severity of their withdrawal, they may be tempted to take some opiates, to alleviate that. So that's basically what the letter is saying, is that, first of all, there's really not any evidence. And then second of all, it could also increase the severity of withdrawal. So I don't feel a strong recommendation, to recommend to the board that this be passed. I think if more evidence does come out, I think the New York State OASIS would press for this and have the governor, do this anyway, if the evidence supported it. On the other hand, is there a lot of harm to it? No, other than what I just mentioned, right? Like if people were to have more severe withdrawal, they could be at risk for overdose. So that was directly to the question. And then I also pulled together some other statistics. If you want me to.
No, let's go through the statistics quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so we did pull together some data that just looks at our 2025 Warren County overdoses and by month. And so for year to date, through May, we had 20 overdoses. 2 of those were fatalities. You can see that 10 received naloxone, which is the reversal medication. And then there's a breakdown of some of the primary substances that were involved. On the back of that sheet is a little bit of trend data that just shows our overdose data over the last 4 years. And you see that then in 24, there was a spike where we saw 80, although you see the trend on the deaths is actually the reverse. So the trend over the 4 years is that the fatalities are going down, which is really probably an indicator of the effectiveness of the 4 milligram naloxone, because over that period of time, a tremendous effort has been made to make that available public. Do you agree?
Yes.
Yeah. And in fact, OASIS has used a lot of their opioid settlement funds for that purpose, to make naloxone widely available. So anybody can go on their website, you can contact OASIS, they'll send you a supply, it's free. So that's what we attribute that to. You can also see the trend over the 4 years was more naloxone being given. So our law enforcement agencies have it on board when they respond, EMS. Anyway, that's the trend data. There's a little bit of other data that I provided there. I really probably don't have to go through it. This comes from another source. This is CDC data. And their numbers are slightly different, and I don't really have an explanation for that, other than the source for first 2 pages there was our Warren County overdose dashboard that the sheriff's department operates. And so there may be some additional data coming maybe from the hospital that gets reported to CDC that maybe never involves our local law enforcement. So that's why there might be slightly different numbers there at the top of that page that has the CDC data. There's a couple of other data pages there that I did a little cut and paste. It just shows that admissions of all county residents to treatment programs by program, county, program type, and calendar year. So this first one is statewide data that shows the number of people from any county that receive services here in Warren County. And then the percentage of that, and it shows the different programs that we have here in the county. The other similar table shows Warren County residents only and where they receive their services. And by percentage. Then I also just wanted to highlight that there's an event coming up, and there's a flyer here in the packet. It's going to be held on Tuesday, July 15th at the Crandall Public Library in the Christine McDonald Community Room. 5 to 7 on July 15th. It's a community conversations on opioid use disorder. And one of our contract agencies, the Ascend Mental Wellness, is one of the sponsors. And so anybody interested can also attend that and get information about what's happening in our community.
Well, I think, if I mind, I think we could do one of a number of things with this resolution. I think number one is we could bring it forward and approve it, send it on to the board. We could bring it forward and defeat it. In which case, anybody that wanted to put it in front of the board would have to do take it from the floor. Now, the other thing is to not bring it forward, but just to leave it for now. And in which case, we're not saying yes, we're not saying no. We're basically want to wait and hear from our professional community stronger advice relative to the request. And I think those basically are the 3 options that we have right now. So if I ask us, is there anyone wishing to bring this forward? There'll be a motion and a second. If we get the second, then we bring it forward, and then we'll vote it up or vote it down. And if no one makes a motion, then it just basically it just lies there for the time being. It's not carried forward. It's not an item that we carry forward, but everybody's aware of it. And our professional community is more than capable of bringing it forward should they feel that it's in the best interest of the county and the people that have a need for this. Anyway, I would say that those are the options at this point. And if you want to continue some discussion on this, the committee, if you have any questions, maybe we should approach it in that fashion, Mr. Driscoll.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think, until we can get more information from Rob and Jessica, I'm interested in letting it sit until that time that we might get some more information. I'm kind of curious though, what was the motivation with Orleans County? Can you?
Yeah, I really
Maybe
don't
their
know.
numbers are considerably higher than ours are, or
Not that I'm aware of, but
Yeah.
I really just don't know.
Yeah.
And this isn't an issue that I had heard from my statewide association. And usually if there's a request or there's a strong need for something, my statewide association is, pushing it out to all of the county directors across the state.
Just like we hear from ICE.
Right, right, right.
So, you
And
know,
it wasn't an issue I heard from them, so,
Okay,
but if I were to hear it, I would bring it back through my committee also as a request.
I think that's good.
Well, then let me pose a question. Is there a motion to bring this forward for consideration by the committee? There's no motion and we'll basically stay tuned. All right. Thank you. And thank you, Bob and Jessica. Our guests here with name.
I do have,
That's
well,
fine.
I got it.
Jessica, I'm sorry, Jessica, my apologies. Jessica, thank you for being here, Frank.
Day training up.
Yeah, I do have a question on your,
On, Bridges over Park.
Yeah, I was there.
Well, that's right, yeah, I'm sorry, okay, yeah.
on your last.
Yes.
That's why I said hi there.
The outpatient services. I see in 2024, there was 103. Did you just start the community behavioral health clinic?
Yes, that was a new service that's being developed by Behavioral Health Services North. They're also off of Bay Road here on Willowbrook. And they received a new designation for their clinic. That is called the Certified Community Behavioral Health Clinic, CCBHC. That was a new certification that they received, so that's why it.
And are these numbers across the years, are they repeat people, or are they like the same people, or are they new?
I think these numbers would include all. Some would be repeats and some would be new, would you
Yeah.
say?
I always can go back to my clinic and figure out, those numbers specific with data with repeats.
I don't see anything that says it would exclude people that, because they were repeat, so I would say it's all admissions.
Thank you.
Any other questions? I'll open up to the privilege of the floor. Anyone wishing to address the committee at this time? There being no one, no. Chair will entertain a motion to adjourn. Mayday, Mr. Driscoll on the second.
Yes.
All those in favor of adjourning signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, we are adjourned, everyone. Thank